Hey guys, it's Brianna here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I make bookish videos and as well as Disney content. I know the Disney content is pretty sparse. There's pretty much not anything, but it is a work in progress. So expect to see more videos from me in the future about Disney. But y'all are not here about the Disney content. You're here to know about the dark romances that y'all need to hold me accountable for. I've done a contemporary version if you guys want to go check that one out, because there's also some pretty popular books on that list as well that I haven't gotten to. I am also the definition of a mood reader. I pretty much read everything under the romance umbrella, as well as branch out into thrillers, as well as sometimes like Goosebumps. I haven't read those in a while, but you know, I read all over the place, but predominantly I do read dark romance and just kind of the romance in general. So I have about 10 on this list that y'all are gonna have to hold me accountable for. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my iPad with my list of different authors and books that you guys need to hold me accountable for. So if you see me looking down, that's why. I'm not like avoiding and just, yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into this because I've got quite the list, and some of these may be a shock. Some of you may be like, it's still on your list. I know. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I think I'm going to start with probably two that have been on my TBR the longest, literally since I started reading back in 2013, when I kind of discovered the romance genre, which would have been the following year in 2014 and kind of going into 2015. These have literally been on my list since then, and one of them is going to be Tears of Tess by Pippa Winters. This has literally been on my list this entire time. I have no reason why I haven't gotten to these. Again, I'm a mood reader, so it's just I haven't done it. I know this is like one of the like quintessential dark romances. Like, you can't say you're a dark romance reader without having read Pepper Winters, and I haven't yet. And I've been reading dark romance probably since I think I got into dark romance specifically, like really got into it probably in 2017. That's kind of when I really fell down the rabbit hole of dark romance, and I haven't gotten to them yet. I have no reason, so hopefully soon. And then the other one that came out around that time is going to be Raw by Bella Aurora. Guys, I don't know. Like, I have no reasons why. Again, I'm a mood reader. I don't know how else to explain why I haven't gotten to these. But these are two that have literally been on my TBR the longest, and I literally own physical copies of both. Oops, sorry, that was backwards. Of both, and I still haven't gotten to them yet. Hopefully y'all will hold me accountable for probably the two that have been on my TBR the longest. So yeah. I know, starting off strong with this list, aren't I? Another one that I've started, literally I reread book one last year. I was like, this could be the time I'm going to finish it. 2022 is going to be the year that I finally finish the series, and I still have not done The Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. I know y'all are going to come after me for this one. I've literally read the first two. I don't think I got to book three. I don't remember, but I literally own them, and I still haven't read them. Again, there's no reason why. I talked about this in the contemporary video. I'm very intimidated by big books. It's not something I usually gravitate towards. I try to gravitate towards the shorter books, if that makes sense. They're always so daunting to me, and I don't know why, but I still have not finished the Devil's Night series, despite reading Corrupt at least twice now. Still haven't finished, and at this point I'm still gonna have to do a reread of Corrupt to kind of like refresh my mind, and then get into the second book, and then the third. Like, I don't know. I have no reason why. Two other books that I feel like everybody has read. One of them is going to be Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. This isn't like a really dark book, but this is a forbidden romance. It is a student-teacher relationship, and I know she tends to write more darker books. They're not very light, so that's why I started to include this one, because it is a little bit more taboo. They kind of delve into like the darker themes, and I still haven't read it. It's a chunky book, and I know I'm gonna love it. Like, I truly love the taboo and like forbidden books, but I haven't gotten to it yet. And then the next book, which it's a newer release. Like, it's not really new at this point, but it is one of her newer releases. It's also by Pam Godwin. It's Sea of Ruin. This is a historical like pirate type book. I know that this one definitely has darker themes. I know a lot of friends that are really big like historical readers, and they were like, whoa, I was not expecting this book to be as dark as it was, which is why I put it on this list, because this is a darker themed book. And I'm really excited about this one because literally everybody, I don't think I've ever heard a bad review about this book. If I have, it's because those that read it aren't really big dark romance readers, so they didn't care for the book. But those that really read dark romance and kind of have similar taste in books that I do, love this book. So haven't gotten to it yet, and I know y'all are gonna come for me for this because I know that that one's very well loved. Next up, I started it. Please let me preface that by saying I literally read this book when it released. I think I had an art copy, and it's gonna be The Enthralled Duet by Gianna Darling. Loved it. But then because I'm a mood reader, I never got to book 2, which is Enamored. I don't know why. I still kind of remember the ending of this book whenever, I can't remember if this book came out in like probably 2018 or something like that. I remember kind of vaguely, because it's been a while since this book released, I vaguely remember it, but at this point, obviously, I'm gonna have to reread this to jump into book 2. But this is one that literally is on my mind pretty frequently, and yet I still haven't finished it. So next up, I'm gonna do kind of like an author discussion, because at the time of filming this video, who knows if I'll get to more, it's not likely. But this author, I have literally only read one trilogy. The book I'm going to show you is one of those that is on my TBR. I do own the trilogy, but this is an author that I feel like if you're a dark romance reader, you have read quite a bit of her books, if not all of her books. She does have quite an extensive backlist at this point because she does release pretty quickly, I would say. And here we are. I've only read literally one trilogy, and it's going to be Rena Kent. I read the Deception trilogy. I read it back around the time it released. I was obsessed. It is I think it's Russian mafia, and I was obsessed. Like, literally everybody raves about her books, who is a dark romance girly. And I still haven't read more of her books. I keep saying I'm going to read more of her books, and I never get to them. She is definitely an author that I really want to do a deep dive of. It's just a matter of my mood reading and when I'm ready to dive into her books. I know I'm gonna love her books because, like I said, everybody raves about her books. So I know I'm gonna love it. But again, she has got quite the extensive backlist at this point. She's got at least 20 plus books, probably way more than that. I've got my work cut out for me with her books. And then my last physical copy is going to be a special edition. This is from, Fabled Co. So this is not the regular edition. I actually don't even own the regular edition, but when I saw this, for some reason, I had to have it, even though I haven't read it. It's going to be Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. This is a Why Choose dark romance, and it's a standalone, which if you don't read Why Choose, it is pretty unheard of. Usually Why Choose books are set in series just because there's so much going on, and because you have multiple love interests, that it's really hard to compact it into one book. But Den of Vipers is one of those. This, I feel, is like one of the quintessential, like, if you like Why Choose, you've read this book, and haven't read it yet. Don't know why. I hear that this one's pretty dark, but again, I've read some pretty messed up books in my time of being a reader, so I know that this is going to be a wild ride for me. I am very excited. This edition though is so pretty, which y'all could probably understand why I bought it, but I don't even own the regular edition, but I had to have it because I thought it was really pretty. I haven't read Den of Vipers yet. So next up are going to be what I don't own physical copies of. I'm going to talk about another author that she only has a couple books out so far. I want to say she has at least three of them come to mind, and it's going to be Jessie Hall. She just released that Sick Love, which is a Starker romance, and this is what I've heard. I have read The Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. I heard it puts Zayd, like, Zayd ain't got nothing on this hero, which I think his name is like Arrow. It's A-E-R-O, so I may be mispronouncing it. I hear that this hero is even more unhinged than Zayd, and I'm like, really? Like, Okay, I mean, I'll take your word for it. So I'm very curious about her books. I am very excited because, like I said, everybody has been raving about her books, those that do read dark romance. So I'm very excited about her books. So yeah, and then last up is going to be one that is very unique. I don't see books like this pretty much ever. And the fact that this is like exists, I'm very curious about it. It's going to be Brutal Obsession by, I think the author's name is S. Massery. I think that's how you pronounce it. Never heard anybody like say her name, so I've never known if it's correct or not. But this book has me really intrigued because yes, it's a dark romance, but it's also hockey romance. And typically when you have like sports romance books, those are typically more like contemporary romance, more like feel good. They might have some, you know, more like not sensitive subjects, but more personal, like just issues going on, not necessarily dark content. So this book has me extremely intrigued because literally everybody that has read this book has been obsessed with the book. And I'm like, this is quite the interesting combo when you put sports romance, which is typically very contemporary, very lighthearted, and dark romance together. And I'm very curious to see how they mesh together and how it's going to play out because, like I said, I am truly intrigued by this book. Literally everybody raves about this book. So those are the 10 authors series books that y'all need to hold me accountable for. I know y'all are going to come at me in the comments for some of these, and I know y'all are going to hold me accountable. Hopefully I can get through most of these this year. We'll see. Like I said, I'm a mood reader, so who knows. But if you guys want to stick around, I would love if you guys would subscribe to my channel. All of my social media links are down below. I am the most active on Bookstagram. That is where you're going to find me gushing the most about books. I post almost every single day except on Sundays. I try not to post. I need to have at least one day where I'm not posting, so typically I reserve Sundays for those. Until my next video, I will see you guys later. Bye guys.